Is Todd, and I found this cool 3 set on eBay, and I got it shipped to me a long time ago. It's been sitting on my floor waiting for me to open and dive into it. So I figured, you know what? I'll go ahead and open it. And it's kind of funny as I was thinking about all the Sunman action figures, and I bought these just basically to customize. And I thought, I wonder how many of the figures I actually have. Now, bear in mind, a long time ago, I actually had a Sunman. Here's the box to it. I have since then sold the figure, but I kept the box. And on the back has all the figures listed in the original line. And I thought, okay, I wonder how many of these original figures that I have now in Origins that I wanted for years that I was like, now I don't really care. But now that I got this 3-pack, I might start caring. So I took this just a few minutes ago and scanned it in on my scanner and cleaned it up a little bit, not a lot yet, and put it in here. So now I got a nice clean copy that I can use for us to look at to figure out which figures I have or don't have, as opposed to then I can put this back away and save it. I got a hole right there in there where it was hung up on the pin, and scratches, marks everywhere. Still some scratch marks on here I gotta fix. Once I get this totally cleaned up though, I'll send it to get a nice poster printed, and I'll post the PDF for anybody that wants it to make your own prints. So let me go ahead and let's jump into this, and let's look at these last 3 figures, and then we'll compare and see what I have and what I'm missing. All right, so you can kind of see here, got some Sunman figures there, got some Sunman figures there, got some Sunman figures there. So let's go ahead and dive into this. Let's see if anybody's joined us yet. I don't see any comments yet, so we'll see who ends up joining us. Now, I forgot the price I paid for this on eBay, but I know it was really cheap, but I could see the person who bought it, they got it also on clearance for only 15 bucks. So I think the place I bought it from might be out, maybe not. So check the links. I also put a link to a rarer character that I'll talk about in a few minutes here as well. So let's go ahead and get this box open and let's check out some stuff. So this box came in some pretty bad shape, but it has a really cool picture on the back of all the Sunman figures that they have made. And I guess I could compare to see if they got the same ones. Look at that. They put it in the same order almost as they are here. Well, I guess he's not. He's on the wrong side of the screen. But we have our Sunman, of course, our what is that? Digitino Space Sumo. Then we have Boltman. We got what is that? Kikto. And then we have Zapman. And we have Hypno. That's not Hypno. There he is. He's got the bird. Hypno. Then we have Duplico. And then we have the evil bad guy, Pighead, Wicked Enemy. And he's the only bad guy out of everybody. I mean, some of these guys might be good guys. I mean, he says heroics. We know what he's heroic. I wasn't sure about that at first. But the rest, I'm guessing, I mean, he could be a bad guy. I don't know. Psychic hypnotist. Anyway, let's get these open. We'll take a look at the back of the box later. It shows who gets what weapons and stuff so you don't put them in the wrong guys. But I think we pretty much know who gets what. So let's get it open now. I'm surprised no one's put anything in chat yet. I wonder if I turn the chat on. Just for kicks, try to chat and let me know. Of course, you can't let me know. But if nobody chats, then I'll know that it must be turned off. So I mean, Mike usually has something to say like, hey, dun dun dun. They come with comics too. All right. Holographo. Futuristic scientist. Is that his name on the back of here? Oh, sharp scissors. Yep. Holographo. Look at that. Okay. So let's start with Zapman. No. Zapman, micro laser specialist. Oh, there we go. Hey, collector. Thanks for joining me. I can see now the chat's working. Thank you. I appreciate that. Now look, they got a separate comic for each one. Now that's cool. That's cool. So if you didn't know the story about Sunman, there was actually a young boy, and he was disenchanted with He-Man because He-Man did not look like him. And so his mother started OMAC Toys and made a character that resembled him, which is Sunman. And Sunman's power is that his skin cannot be ripped or torn or pierced or anything else. And he gets his power from the sun. And so his skin is his superhero power, which was kind of cool idea. And she also made Butterfly Woman as well. And I remember doing a small interview with her a long, long time ago, just over email. And I remember I wanted my daughter to meet her because she was such an impressive woman. And it was cool. Anyway, now you know the story. If you want, you can go to my Sunman webpage and see the story. I have it all on there. I actually cut and pasted it from an article that is no longer available. So we'll take these. I guess they go on his wrists. Ka-chink. Zap Man. Now, there is something funny about these figures, and that is they all have the exact same body, every single one of them, but they have different heads and different colors. So you look at every single figure, they all have the same boots, the same belts, the same wristbands. It's kind of funny. So at first you're like, wait a minute, why are they all the exact same? But that is the way she designed the line originally, is they all had the exact same bodies, just different skin tones and different heads. And you could tell she definitely went for all different skin tones. And it's kind of a cool idea, you know, because that way then as a kid, you can grab the heroic warrior that matches what you look like or your... It's kind of cool. Now, of course, since Sunman came out, Mattel did make Clamp Champ, as you guys know. And then I turned my Clamp Champ into my Hebro figure, which then later on, somebody designed a Hebro figure off of my design and added coloring to him and made him look very close to Sunman. If you take a look at my Hebro figure, he has a lot of the same colors that Sunman has with the greens and the reds and the yellows and everything else. So, pretty cool. So, kind of cool. I'll put Hebro away for now, and let's get the last guy open. And the last guy's name is Kikto. Oh, I'm knocking guys over. Hey, Waldo. Thanks for joining me. Okay, this one must go on this side. This one must go on this side. That's the way they were in the box. Oop. Does it go on his thighs? Oh, it goes up on his thighs. There we go. That fits better. Now it shows something goes in his chest. I'm not sure what goes there. We'll figure that out in a minute. I guess that's why we have the picture on the box to help us out with stuff like this. Ho! Stand, man, stand. All right, let's take a look at the side of the box again. The part that I threw to the side. Oh, I see. You push the discs into the armor. Well, we'll try that. We'll take the disc off of his arm. He will stick it in the armor. I kind of wish it came with an extra disc, one to keep in his armor all the time, but... And it goes right in there like that for some reason. I'm not sure what that signifies, but sure enough, you could see it there, where he's missing one on his arm, and it's in his chest. Interesting. Interesting. He does not want to stay standing. Now I lost his sword. There it is. All right. Now he does have a little holographic type image on his chest, so that's kind of cool. And I'm going to go ahead and grab an extra light so we can brighten these things up. This set never showed up in our targets. All right, well, the link's in the description if you guys want to check it out. And let's go ahead and go through all the figures and see if we have them all. So first off, we got Sunman. You know what? I'm not going to use the original card art to look at this. As cool as this is, it's just so mangled. I'm going to use my printed one I just printed a few minutes ago. So let's take a look here. There we go. I'll just leave it set up like that. So first off, Sunman. And then we have Digentino. And then we have Samurai. Or Space Sumo. Samurai Space Sumo. Then we have Boltman. He's kind of off here by Digentino. And then we have the pig guy. Pig head. And then we have Holographico. Holographico. Firmly grasp it. And then we have this guy, Keto. And then we have Zap Man. And then we have Mr. Lollipop Man. He's the Candy Man. The Candy Man can. Anyway. And the only one I'm missing is... that is Duplico. He's the only one I'm missing is Duplico. So he is the one I have to get. And I already ordered him on eBay. He'll be coming shortly to me, hopefully. So if you guys want, I put a link to him because he's usually pretty rare. And the prices ranged a lot from... I got mine for $44. And with tax and everything, it came to $49, which is kind of expensive being I want to complete the set. And I got the last 3 for like, I think 15 or whatever it was. I figured, what the heck, I might as well get him. He's the last guy I need. And I think his powers, can duplicate himself is what I'm guessing. And so that, which means he'd be an army builder figure you would get, not just one. And he's like the hardest one to find. Now I did see the prices. Some people were charging as high as $200 for him. And on the same platform, eBay. So it's kind of funny. The price ranges are so great between them. So at one time I had some of these guys on the chopping block. I was planning on getting rid of them. But now that I have all but one, I'm going to keep them now. I'm going to get a special box just for them. I'm going to put them all in their box. And it's going to be cool. Matthew says, hi, Hebro. May I ask if you're planning on making a Masterverse Panther's helmet? That is a great question. I do plan on it. It's just not super quick because I have other things I have still baking that I need to do. But I'm hoping to get that done pretty soon. Now I do have this special version of Pighead where he's got shiny parts. Shiny pink. And then I have my custom Sunman, where I took the Sunman parts from the Masterverse and stuck them on my Sunman. Now the Sunman I had the flat top like this. So that's why I used the flat top version for this, because this is my main Sunman instead of using the one with the wings. Oh, I didn't put the wings around his neck. I knew there was something I was forgetting. Because Sunman, he can fly, so he has these wings. Now, I always thought these wings were kind of the weirdest thing, especially with the old figures they used to have, because they go around his neck. Something like this. Let me pull his head off, maybe. I don't know. Let's see if we can get it on without pulling his head off. You can do it. No, you can't. And I know when my grandson kept playing with him, his head kept popping off because of the wings. But you think about it, if he's flying by his neck, I mean, that is not the best way to fly. I mean, that's how you end up strangling yourself and dying. So he's got to have a pretty strong neck, which means nobody else can use his wings. But I just thought that was such a weird design. I know a lot of people went and made a little thing back here to stick him on there and put his wings on his back, which makes a little bit more sense. But again, her original design, stick the wings like back there or something. But her original design was to actually have them around his neck, like it's his cape is opened up and turned into a flying device, which I think is kind of funny because you see that all the time with superhero, when people are dressing up as superheroes, kids, they wrap the cape around their neck, not realizing it should be hooked to the shoulders so you don't strangle yourself on your cape. But anyway, there we go. So this is kind of more the original Sunman, how he looked. And pretty cool. Hey, Mike. Thanks. Yes, Mike, hit the like button. That's cool. Neck wings were all the rage in the 70s and early 80s. Yes, I could see that. But it's so funny. Like, he has the stars on his boots that are painted. And wait, oh, and they all have stars too, just not painted because it's the same mold. So they all have the same boots, except for the only person that has a different build than the rest of them is him. He's got furry boots, different loincloth, and different arm bands. He's the only character that's different. So when I get my, what is his name, duplicator, I don't know, something like that. When I get him, I will have the full Sunman collection that I have wanted for years that I dismissed just a few months ago. So I'm glad I was too lazy to put stuff on eBay, or I would have already sold. I think he was on the chopping block. He was on the chopping block. He was definitely on the chopping block. You know what? I think I kept him. I had him and him on the chopping block, those two. But I'm glad now that I was too slow at putting stuff on eBay, and now I got them all. And let's see. The cherry on top. Where is that? I have the special Maddie collector. Well, not Maddie collector, but the Mattel Creations Sunman special release. I do think I'd collect the Masterverse version too, but I didn't. Just the one to Steel's armor. And look at that. He is all chrome plated, looking so shiny. Shiny. And he comes with two heads, a grimacing head and a regular head. And his box is removable, so you can open him up. And he's got a really cool art on the back. So yeah, Easton, she should be pretty proud of herself to get these remade in the Origins line. Very cool. I know they started off being like awesome and everyone was trying to get them. And towards the end, people just kind of fizzed out. And I fizzed out when I was unable to get Duplicator because of the price difference. Is that even his name? Am I saying it right? I think so. Dupla. I don't know. I can't even read it on there. I can't read it. Anyway, I got the link in the description if you guys want to get your own. So there you go. Let's see who else is on there. Pighead was just misunderstood. He was upset that he had to get his own shorts and boots. Nice. All our repaints, Mattel was good for that. Now, it wasn't Mattel that actually did the repaints. It was actually Yael Easton and her original design. And if you take a look, even you take a look at Zapman in this picture here, he has the star on his boots. So she originally used the same exact molds for all her heroes. And so if they wouldn't have used the same molds, it wouldn't have been reminiscent of the original toys that Yael Easton made. So I'm really glad that Mattel used the exact same molds and just matched the paint schemes, because it's more reminiscent of the figures that were made back in the 80s, which is exactly what they should be. They should be an exact match of the 80s figures. Because if you update them, they lose their kind of their coolness of what we wanted when we couldn't get them. So I actually love the fact that they are just duplicates, even though it's a little bit ridiculous. I kind of wish in some ways that she would have designed pig boy, pig man, pig head the same way, just so that they'd all match. But that's okay. I mean, it's kind of cool that he's different. All the heroes all shop at the same store, the Hero Emporium. And the funny thing is Pighead has furry boots like He-Man. That's what I think is funny too, because the He-Man boots, a little bump on the back. The He-Man boots are the evil boots in this case. So cool. Am I missing only 2 figures in the middle? Wow. Nice. You actually have Duplicator, or whatever his name is. That's cool. So I'm going to ask my wife to head to the store tomorrow and get me a box to put all these in to keep them separate from all the other ones and treat them nicer, because I did not treat them very well. I just threw them in a box and had some in baggies to sell and everything else that I have now decided to place them into a place of honor. A blue uniform pig is the bad guy. Yes, the blue uniform pig. Now, if you look at the original story, and this is really crazy. Let me find that card. Where did I stick the original card? Did I just lose that? No. I put it back in its bag. I did not. Really? I just set it down. Where did I set it? I've had it for 30 years and now I just lost it. Unbelievable. Okay, let me look just a little bit longer before I give up hope. I think I might have put it back in its bag where it belonged. Nope. That is too funny. See, I need to clean up this room. It is a disaster. My wife always laughs at me all the time. She's like, how can you find anything in that place? Oh, there it is. Sitting right next to me on top of Purple Panther. In the original storyline, it's kind of hard to see here, but I'll try to zoom in so I can read it off screen. He has a rap that he says. And so you see here that it talks about his super strength, Sunman, and his skin cannot be cut, bruised, or burned, bruised, broken, pierced, stabbed, ripped, or removed. That's pretty brutal, getting his skin ripped or removed. So Pighead, the evil wart, was plotting to smoke out Sunman, and he wanted to see if he could weaken Sunman's powerful skin through the smoke from his drugs. Pighead had just cooked up. So this is pretty crazy. Pighead was a drug lord, but Sunman flies free, protecting the right for the galaxy, this place right here, to exist in peace, and his rap is clear. Pighead, listen, you're bad luck. You won't win, so just give up. Sunman is on the scene to stay. With my good powers, shall rule all the way. The battle has just begun. And so it's weird as when you look at the new comics that Mattel put out, there's nothing about drugs in there or anything else. But I can see what Yal Easton was thinking. She doesn't want her kid to get involved in drugs, so she made that the evil weakness of Sunman. That's the one thing that can hurt him, is actually the smoke from the drugs. And so, kind of a crazy story, if you think about it. I mean, heck, the president should have glommed onto this with that whole thing they were doing with DARE, with the DARE program they had. They should have gave out free figures to kids at the DARE program, being that's what this was all about. Anyway, I think it was really clever, and again, you can have a little thing to send in here of your favorite figure and stuff and where you purchased it. Yep, and this is cool. A free catalog of all our toys, along with a kit on how your school or organization can earn money by selling toys. That's kind of cool. Anyway, Sunman and the Sun People. I just thought it was kind of cool. She did this all for her son, so he could have a figure that represents how he looks. Now, granted, if he would have waited, another year, he could have just got Clamp Champ. But I still think for a mom to go that far out on her own to help her kid, that is pretty cool. All right, when I get the last figure, I'll make another video, and by then I should have this picture all cleaned up and a larger version of it and a PDF of it for you guys to download on your own and send to the print shop if you want it printed. And I'm going to take this out before I lose it. And in the meantime, will get a special box just to house these guys because they are too cool to get ruined. So, dun dun dun. Dun, 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 dun. Hey, what I want to know from you guys is, do you like the Sunman that's a mixture of Masterverse and Origins, or do you like the original Sunman better? Let me know in the comments what you like better out of the two. And so this is the original. This is the Masterverse mashup. I'm still kind of debating because these wings are just so big and floppy. Is his armor not closed? Is he torso? Oh, there we go. Fit. Da da da. Da 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 da. All right, there we go. Huh. What do I have going on here? I folded it back so it kept coming undone. I guess I must have did this side at one time too. Oh well, I will take care of that later. And then second vote, do you like the shiny pig head, shiny, or do you like the dull pink? I personally like the dull pink because this looks like it's pearlescent and it just bothers me. I know that's kind of weird, but some people might like it. So there you go. The pearlescent pink or the dull pink. Let's see. Head swap Masterverse head as well. Oh, nice. Yeah, I don't even think I have the rest of his body anymore, but I should look and see if I can find it. The second one is better wings. I'm not a fan of the neck wings. Yeah, kind of weird. I mean, it would basically strangle him as he's flying around. Quick land. But then again, if he has like a powerful, super strong neck, unrippable skin, everything else, basically the power of Power Man or Luke Cage, where his skin is unbreakable. It's Luke Cage and He-Man. So, which is kind of funny. You think about it. She made Luke Cage, but that's okay. She didn't know. She probably didn't even know who Luke Cage was. Just a coincidence. A quinkydink. All right, I'm checking your comments now. Both are fine with me. I have the shiny pig. Yep, the shiny pig came in a 3-pack. A different 3-pack. It came with him, the sumo guy, and somebody else. I forgot who it came with. I think it might have been another Sunman. I don't remember. I don't recall. Oh, Forenza T. That would be fun. Forenza T would be really cool. Thanks, Charles, for asking. We are doing better than you were yesterday, so thanks. I appreciate you asking. Yeah. Shiny pig. He has the cash monies to bling out with it. That is hilarious. I got my bling on. Cha-ching. That is funny. So if you guys don't know what Forenza T is, again, go to my site, click the link. I have a link on there about all the Forenza T figures. They are pretty cool. Let's see. Hebro, are you getting new Faker? I don't believe so. The head is so much better, flat top. Giraffes, the 4 turtles with gray skulls, zombie eating that pizza, man. Pizza Man is awesome. Pizza Man and Lollipop Man. Yeah, it does look like he's, if you're referring to him, it's like he's wearing a pizza on his chest. See, this way it's pepperoni, and this way it's Canadian bacon. They did a good job on the heads too. I mean, the heads look like they're not that great in today's standards, but they match what they were originally when she designed them. So it all depends what you're looking for. If you're looking for authentic to the original toys, they did a really good job matching the authenticness to the original toys. But if you're looking for advanced figures that, you know, look like today, these are not them. But they do have all the cool articulation of Origins. His knee's ready to snap if I bend that. It's like I have to use some hot water on these guys. It's funny is one of these figures looks like my son-in-law. It cracks me up all the time when I see it. Let me show you. Nope, don't fall. Is it this one here? Yes. This guy here looks a lot like my son-in-law, except my son-in-law has no hair. But the face, that face, and so it's kind of funny when I see him. It reminds me of my son-in-law. There we go. I'll put him back. Let's see. Todd, have you made a Hebro Masterverse figure? I have mine. I did, actually. Let me go and grab them. There's actually somebody here on this channel. They actually paid for my Hebro figure. Let me get them off the shelf here where you guys are telling me what you like. Oh, dropping my slime. Oh, his sword is bent too. Unfortunately, he had some stuff on him, so his sword is bent. But here is my Masterverse Hebro. I did not paint him green like I usually do. I just put the armor and sword on him. So he doesn't have the green bands yet or the green belt yet. But there he is. He's sporting the Classics armor. I got the little Bible from Amazon. I got the custom sword from a Chinese seller. Or no. I got the armor and the sword from my friend who I have on the link at the bottom. In the description, I have a link of where to buy the armor and sword. It says where Hebro gets his armor from, and it has the guy's eBay channel, eBay store linked on there. So there you go. And I used the Classics one on him. I gotta straighten his sword out. Look at that. The sword of the spirit has been bent. Let's see. The last 3-pack, besides Hologro, should have had Origins original heads. The reused heads could have been an extra one and are not the original unreleased ones. Nice. All right. That is all that I have. And are the Sunman and some people of Sun Charles. Todd, are you going to get the original cartoon? Too bad. No, I'm not going to get the Origins cartoon. Too bad. Todd, do you know if the Classics Hebro head matches the new Origins color? I'm not sure. That's a good question. I don't have my Classics Hebro out right now. I guess I can get them out. Hold on a minute. Hold on. This video is not supposed to be about Hebro, but since Hebro and Sunman are kind of have some similarities to them, what the heck. Okay. Here's my Classics Hebro. Looks a whole lot darker and a different shade of brown. I actually like the brown better on the Masterverse, to tell you the truth. And one more figure to grab out of the box. Okay, so here we go. Since you're asking questions about Hebro, let's get him out. I can't find his sword, but here's his Bible. All right, so there's his sword. Fit. All right, so let's take a look here. Here is my Hebro from the original toy line, made from Clamp Champ. See, no building any elbows, and he's sporting the Classics armor again. And again, I got the stuff from that link in the description. And then here is the Origins one, and he's sporting the new armor, not totally new, but the one that came with the 80s. I guess it's not new, it's actually older. The original 80s armor, so it's not older, but it's new to me. And so there you go. And then I have the Classics one, and he's sporting the Classics armor. And then last I have the Masterverse one, and he's also sporting the Classics one. And for skin tone, you can see they're quite a bit different there. Quite a bit different. Quite a bit different here as well. So if you were to use the head from Classics, it would not work too well with either Masterverse or Origins. Let me swap my lights out. This one's dying. Plug this one in to get it charged, and let's get my AA light. All right, hopefully now I can see the color better. So if you were to use this figure, no matchy. So you can't use Sunman with the Classics head. You can't use the Classics head with him as well. And you can't use the Classics head too well. You probably could get away with it on this one. And then, of course, here's the original, and they are pretty close in color. All right, hopefully that answered your question. What's Hebro's power? That is an excellent question. So I will tell you the story of Hebro. It's not what this video is about, but what the heck. So Hebro, he was digging around in an old rocket ship that Marlena crashed. And while he was digging around in the rocket ship of Marlena, he found a Gideon's Bible in there. Because you guys know Marlena is from Earth. She is an Earth astronaut. And those Gideons get those Bibles everywhere. And sure enough, he was able to find the Bible. He read the Bible and found the planet Salvation and became the first Christian on the planet Eternia. And when he raises up his Bible, it turns into the sword of the Spirit. And he gets great strength like Samson had in the Bible. So it is the Spirit of the Lord comes upon him, and he gets strength like Samson in the Bible. And then his Bible turns into the sword of the Spirit. So technically he wouldn't have both the sword and the Bible at the same time, because they are the same thing. Kind of like how Shira's sword turns into a shield, or turns into a rope, or turns into all that stuff. So there you go. Now you know the story. Thanks, man. Yep, if you need the yellow armor and sword, links in the description. The guy does charge a lot for them. And I have found that the Classics one, a lot of times will snap right here very easily on the sides. So if you decide to use it, be very careful installing it. Heat it up as you put it on. And I went and reinforced these with glue on the inside of the seams before I put them on. If you go with The original armor, the yellow's a different shade. You can see it's kind of more greenish yellow than the yellow. It's just a little bit different, and they don't stay very good, so you have to kind of roll them under, but they're not going to break on you. There's no seam here on the bottom, so you don't have to worry about them snapping on the seam. So it all depends what you're looking for. If you want something that's stronger and it's going to last easier, get the vintage armor. If you want something that's brighter yellow and just fits better, then you want to go with the classic armor. But beware of those seams. Once they break, you're done. You're not going to get them back together. So you have to glue ahead of time inside the seam before you put it on, or just be very careful not to keep taking it off and on. I used to not sell the armor separately for that reason, because I used to buy them in bulk from the guy. I would just put them on the figure and sell the figure to the person and say, don't take the armor off. And one guy one time just pleaded with me to sell him the armor, and I did. And he got the armor at home. He went to put it on, and it snapped. And he sent me a nasty gram. That armor just broke. And it's like, dude, I warned you. And so, yep. And that was the end of me selling armor to anybody, because it's like I knew they break so easy on those edges. So if you buy them from that seller, just beware that they can break easy. It's funny. This is the first time I've actually had all my Hebro figures out at the same time. That's kind of funny. It's kind of weird. And there they all are, all four of them. I never made a 2000X version because I never really made a good clamp champ, except for the Staction figure. But that's so bizarre. And I guess I could have used Zodak. How crazy is that? I gotta paint him green so he matches. G Unit says I like the classics one best. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I have the Origins Cobra Khan coming tomorrow, says Charles. Nice. King Grayskull. Yes. Thanks, man. I appreciate you saying it makes sense in the universe. Yeah, that was the trick. I wanted to make it make sense in the universe. So that's why I did the whole Marlena's rocket with the Gideon's Bible in there. Because otherwise it's like, well, how did it get there? You know, how is Earth connected, and how are you going to do this thing unless, you know, and I knew if I just threw it out there without a good background story, it doesn't make any sense. It's got to fit within the universe for it to work. And since she's from Earth, she opened the door. And they even have a Christmas special. So if you take a look, you can see the He-Man's Christmas special where she teaches everybody about Christmas. So there's already some connection there. The She-Ra He-Man Christmas special. So, cool. All right. King Grayskull is lame. I think King Grayskull's pretty cool. Oh! Yes. All right. I think I'm going to bid you guys farewell. Yes, the 2002 King Grayskull was pretty cool. Yes, a Marlena figure would be awesome in Origins. I would totally love that. I would also like it in Masterverse too, but for right now, we need the figure we need next, I think. I'm really hoping that the Club Grayskull pulls through, is this figure here. Shirella would be awesome to have. I lost all our arrows. I must have dumped them out somewhere. Where are your arrows? Oh, Manny Faces is trying to eat the arrows. I'll have to find them later. I probably dumped them on the floor when I grabbed her. Da-da-dun-dun. I always forget what the date is for bringing your Manny Faces to work day. What is the story of King Grayskull? Well, that is for a different video, but I appreciate you asking. I think I made one once, but I may have to make it again. It's a cool story. Yes, Origins would be my moto too, except for Classics is my moto. So, yes, he put the power into the sword. That sounds funny. All right, you guys, good journey, and I will talk to you guys next video. Thanks for joining me. I know I went on quite the long rabbit trail. We just started with the 3 new figures we got. Let's see, it was him, him, and him. There you go. No, yeah, those are the 3 we just got right there. Bam, bam, bam. The last 3 for the Sunman line, and we went through a whole craziness of everything else. But thanks for joining me. Good journey, and I will see you guys next video. Bye now.